As a very experienced swindler of the supernatural arts, I suggest you listen to this. If you desire something, say, otherworldly in terms of power or whatever you seek, this is one way to get it. But do be warned, as this is not for the faint of heart, and could result in your death if not performed very carefully. First of all, I want to start by saying the following. I've been doing this for about a couple of years, around 5 now, investigating the whole supernatural thing, trying countless different rituals, and each being more interesting than the last, except for this one. This one took me by surprise and actually worked. First and foremost, you'll need a pen, a black one preferably. You'll then need to write your name twice, once normally, and the second time backwards. Fold up the piece of paper so that it covers your name that's been written normally, so that it only relieves the one that is now written backwards. After you've done this is step 1 already prepared. You don't need any type of blood as well, so that's safely off the table. All you need to do then is just wait until 12 AM. This is when the game starts, and more importantly, where the fun part truly begins. And with that, you're now on step 3, but this is where it begins to get a little bit difficult. You must time it specifically right as to when it just turns to 1 AM, you immediately need to go to a mirror, whether that be in your house or some other place, in which case I have one in my living room, so that's where it works best. I go to the mirror, and then what you're supposed to do, if you follow along with me, is stare deeply into it, and then put your finger against the glass of the mirror. Try to look really closely into the mirror. If any focus should be attempted off of it, well, there's a 50-50 chance of either your neck getting broken or seeing something very unpleasant. But if you keep your focus, then you should be somewhat okay and unscathed. When you do so, a being will appear at the mirror alongside you. Don't turn around. If doing so, there may be a 50-50 chance of either your neck getting broken or seeing something very unpleasant. In any case, if you continue to keep your eyes on the mirror, you will be rewarded with the following question. What do you desire? Now, this may seem like a pretty straightforward question, but little do you know, this is only a trick question. You are meant to fall into the prying hands of this demonic entity, and the best way to avoid it is by saying, I want to speak with those who can grant my wish. In doing so, that now being will disappear and leave nothing but remnants of dust. Look closely in the mirror now. This is where the game begins to end. A ghostly-like figure with a disturbing sort of malice-looking face will appear in front of you. He isn't harmful, but if you are quick to anger him, then, well, there's no telling what he could do. It's possible he could probably kill you by either, I don't know, breaking your neck, ripping out your organs, destroying any other form of vital organ, or just giving you a plain and simple heart attack. Anyway, your best case is to just take everything he says seriously in some ways and not to bother him. You wouldn't want to get murdered now, would you? Of course not. He will then ask you the real question. The end-all and be-all of all creepy occurrences that you've seen tonight will all be for this. The question being, if there's one thing that I could grant you, what would you pick? Anything you want is now on the table. Whether that be, a special someone or anything of that nature is really up to you. I chose something else. Knowledge. Knowledge over what, you may ask? Well, knowledge of all of this. I now know more related to the whole spiritual thing. And if I had to take any questions from you, the biggest one here would be, is there such thing as an afterlife? And to that I say, yes. Yes, there is. But it's not the conventional one you know. It's a dark place. There's still such things as, well, places to go. I mean, if anything, you're just drifting through the universe. And you're now a ghost-like body. And you can really go wherever you want. I know that much. But anyway, the knowledge aside, after getting your prized thing, whatever that be, you can then resume your life as normal. Well, at least as normal as you can see anyway, given the fact that you now know or have whatever you want. It's bittersweet in a sense. Also, one thing I may have forgot to mention, after you've finished with your ritual, the mirror from then on out is fine to look at. But just don't ever look at it at the same time ever again. Because you might see something in the corner of your room, nothing enough to scare you or alarm you, just make you think. You see, they like to scare you a little bit after the game is over, but there's nothing stopping them from communicating to you by mouthing some words from their grotesque, decaying faces as their jaw stretches, as they stare at you too, just waiting for you to eventually join them. As I said though, this strongly isn't recommended to be played, especially those with a faint heart. As I said, it's not pleasant to see these faces. I would know, and I also know, that every night I go downstairs to grab a glass of water or whatever it may be, I come face to face with the very thing that we should not interfere with. The decaying, horrific, creepy face of a once dead and now lifeless soul that is envious of me, knowing it may never live again.